Hey, Brooke. What the hell was that? Hey, Brooke. Hey, attendees. Your thinking hat on. Yep. I figure with it being Pride Month, I'll probably go for some Pride themed. I'll probably go for some gay themed trivia today. So when you put your thinking hat on, make sure it's your gay thinking hat. Hi, Jay. Your specialty. Hey, Jenna. Missed ya. I've missed ya. beans in that? What? Beans? Okay. Sure. I was like, eh. Same old. Good job. Yep. Still have a job. Gonna work 11 hours this week. 2 shifts. 1 5-hour shift, 1 6-hour shift. One of them's like 5 to 11, the other 6 to 11. So does mean both those days I won't be coming live, but that'll be Tuesday and Friday. Work from home, yeah. Charity lottery. Ticket sales. So, I mean, I do kind of like that. Where we went? Nothing. Bragging rights, I suppose. You win bragging rights. The pride of a job well done. Hey, Shelly. Terrible at work from home. Yeah, my cat just did the kissing. Oh wait, shit, you're in Severe Fame. Fair. But maybe being told about your cat would distract from the pain. Do you think about that, Jenna? Maybe if you told them about your cat, it would distract them from the pain. It's worth looking into, I say. It's worth exploring. Big day. Overslept. Fucking insomnia. I only slept for like 3 hours. And then I woke up after like 3 hours. And then I had a lot of trouble falling back to sleep. So when I did finally fall back to sleep, I ended up oversleeping. To keep boy, I'm sure he would save lives. Exactly. Anyway, we'll give it another couple minutes and then we'll start on the trivia. And if Funkabuck's not here yet, well, just means that she'll be getting a late start on the trivia. Just means that she'll miss the early questions. But come to think of it, I hope nothing happened with Madison. She did say Madison went to the hospital, so. I like how the closet is moving outwards. Very, very slowly, but yes. Yeah, this is from months ago. Christmas or my birthday? Did I get this bookshelf for Christmas or for my birthday? I feel like it was a birthday present. Yeah, because I know I know my microwave was a Christmas present. Yeah, I think the microwave I got this past Christmas, and then this bookshelf I got on my birthday. Yeah. All right, we gave Buck time. All right. Notable gay history over the centuries. Who's ready? Who's ready for a quiz on notable gay history over the centuries? You don't know gay history? It's Pride Month, so I figured, for Pride Month, we should probably try to do at least a couple of gay quizzes. So, question 1. King Ludwig II of Bavaria had a penchant for handsome men, and this fact was not wasted on the noted composer Richard Wagner, who used this knowledge to compose operas around some Aryan male folk heroes and attract the good king's wallet at the same time. The results were some of the finest operas composed. King Ludwig II also built 3 fairy tale castles, which, along with his support of the arts, helped to bankrupt Bavaria. Which of these was not one of King Ludwig's castles? Jesus Christ, that's what they're going with? Which was not one of King Ludwig's castles in Bavaria? Linderhof, Neuschwanstein, Ehrenchiemsee, Versailles. Linderhof, Neuschwanstein, Ehrenchiemsee, or Versailles? So yeah, at least the answer was obvious. Versailles, obviously. That one's in France, not Bavaria. So at least the answer was obvious. 2. Alexander the Great often tops lists of notable gay men. It was common at the time for aristocratic Greek men to love boys as well as have women for sexual and procreative purposes. Alexander the Great was no exception, but his love for Hephaestion was so great that, when Hephaestion died, Alexander ordered the physician who failed to save him to be crucified. Of what was he king? Of what was Alexander the Great king? Mesopotamia, Ottoman Empire, Turkey, or Macedon? Mesopotamia, Ottoman Empire, Turkey, or Macedon? It's Macedon. Alexander the Great of Macedon. I didn't know he was gay. More or less. I mean, it's arguably a little more complicated than that because they didn't really have, like, they didn't really have our modern notions of sexuality. Noted author Willa Cather took great pains to hide her private life. She ordered her private correspondence between Isabel McClung and her burned. Also, her will stipulated that her letters were never to be quoted. She further made sure that her official biography was written by the person who succeeded McClung as her lover, Edith Lewis. Which of the following was not written by Willa Cather? Which was not written by Willa Cather? Death Comes for the Archbishop, Sapphira and the Slave Girl, Lucy Gayheart, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Death Comes for the Archbishop, Sapphira and the Slave Girl, Lucy Gayheart, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Which was not written by Willa Cather? He's just spamming for. It is kind of weird. It is kind of weird that 3 questions in a row 3 questions in a row, and the answer was number 4. Yeah. She did not write For Whom the Bell Tolls. That one was Hemingway. I'm a forquet. What? Born in 1819 on Long Island, one of this poet's greatest works is a collection of poems titled Leaves of Grass. Any doubt of his sexual orientation would be removed by reading Calamus, a collection within Leaves of Grass. Who was this poet? Which poet wrote Leaves of Grass? Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, or Henry David Thoreau? Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, or Henry David Thoreau? Tendy's going with 4 just because, like, right the first 3 times. Maybe that's just the. Tendy's is banking on that being the gimmick for this whole quiz, that it's all going to be number 4. I could be wrong, but I feel like the answers might they might be in random order. I could be wrong, but I feel like the answers are like, hey, Uncle Buck. There you are. We're doing gay history. Who wrote Leaves of Grass? The question is, who wrote Leaves of Grass? Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, Edgar Allan Poe, or Henry David Thoreau? Also, how's Madison? So the answer was, in fact, Walt Whitman. It was Walt Whitman who wrote Leaves of Grass. She just wants out. Fair enough. Yep, it was number 2. In 1964, the tomb of 2 manicurists, Neaknum and Knumhotep, Neanknum and Knumhotep, I don't know how to pronounce those names, was found in the necropolis at Saqqara. Drawings showed 2 men in an embrace, as well as an indication they were joined as one. This Old Kingdom tomb was near the pyramid of Unas. In which modern country would this be? Mexico, Libya, Syria, or Egypt? Mexico, Libya, Syria, or Egypt? Let's see if I can. Yeah, that's what the names look like. Those are the names right there. And if that doesn't tell you the answer, then I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that is definitely Egypt. Number 4 again. 4 out of 5 so far have been number 4. You call shenanigans? Ernst Röhm, working for Adolf Hitler, created, assembled, and trained the notorious stormtroopers, Sturmabteilung, or SA, or brown shirts as they were known. Since the Treaty of Versailles limited the German army to 100,000 men, Hitler formed this paramilitary group that was eventually supplanted by the SS. By 1934, the ranks of the SA had grown to 4.5 million men. There was also the feeling that the special training included homoerotic acts, such as mutual soaping in the showers, and Himmler and others convinced Hitler that Röhm, a homosexual himself, and his homosexual army could overthrow Hitler. Hitler ordered the arrest of Röhm and others in what was to become known as what? The Lebensraum? The Kristallnacht? The Night of Long Knives? Or the Beer Hall Putsch? Hitler ordered the arrest of Röhm and others in what was to become known as what? The Lebensraum? The Kristallnacht? The Night of the Long Knives? Or the Beer Hall Putsch? Repeat the question, please. Ernst Röhm, working for Adolf Hitler, created, assembled, and trained the notorious stormtroopers, or brown shirts. Himmler and others convinced Hitler that Röhm, a homosexual, and his homosexual army could overthrow Hitler. Hitler ordered the arrest of Ernst Röhm and others in an event that became known by what name? What was the event? What was the event? What's the name of the night where or the event where that happened? Lebensraum, Kristallnacht, Night of the Long Knives, or the Beer Hall Putsch? Also, hello, positive. And yeah, it is in fact the Night of the Long Knives. A basic knowledge of history sort of eliminates two options. Kristallnacht, obviously, like the Kristallnacht, very infamous. That's, when the Nazis started smashing up Jewish businesses. Beer Hall Putsch, that was when Hitler tried to take over the government. Both very, 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 very famous events. Lebensraum was actually Hitler's plan to take land from neighboring countries. I mean, like, I don't even know that much about German history or about World War II history, and even I knew about what Kristallnacht and Beer Hall Putsch were. Anyway, number 7, question 7. Rudolf Nureyev, born in 1938, educated at the Leningrad Ballet School, was often the dance partner of Margot Fonteyn. Having been already more or less outed by the Celebrity Register, no one really noticed the statement in David Koppe's autobiography, a bestseller, that Nureyev often visited gay bars. Sadly, he died in Paris in 1993 of AIDS. After he defected to the West, he became a citizen of a Western country. Was it the United States? Rudolf Nureyev, famous dancer, defected from the USSR, from the Soviet Union. Did he become a citizen of the US or a different country? Everyone thinks USA. I'm afraid the answer is Austria. Number 8. Karoli Maria Kurtbeny, 1824 to 1822, is best known for having coined this word when living in Berlin. He later used it and a related word in 2 pamphlets demanding that penal codes against same-sex sexual partners be dropped. What was the word he coined? Homosexual, transsexual, gay, or lesbian? Homosexual, transsexual, gay, or lesbian? Answer is homosexual. Number 9. Queen Christina of Sweden, 1626 to 1689, was forced to abdicate the throne mainly because of her lesbianism. True or false? Queen Christina of Sweden was forced to abdicate the throne mainly because of her lesbianism. True or false? Queen Christina of Sweden, 1626 to 1689, was forced to abdicate the throne mainly because of her lesbianism. True or false? True, false, true, false. Answer is false. Financial mismanagement, refusal to marry, and conversion, and even and most important, conversion to Roman Catholicism were the big factors in her abdication. And number 10. This is somewhat more modern history. Whoever asked, no one keeps score. Oh yeah. Yeah, no one keeps score. You're responsible for keeping score for yourself. Anyway, final question, a little bit more modern. The question of gay marriage is controversial, to put it mildly. Uh, as Vermont successfully permitted gay and lesbian civil unions, other states hopped on the bandwagon to make sure that those unions would not be recognized on their turf. This quiz might be kind of old. Last updated December 2021. So it's updated, well after gay marriage was fully legalized in the U.S. I don't know when the quiz would have been first posted. Western Europe, for the most part, is a bit more forward-thinking in that matter. In 1995, Sweden became the second country to allow full rights to a same-sex couple. What European country was the first? What European country was first to grant full rights to a same-sex couple? France, Germany, the Netherlands, or Denmark? France, Germany, the Netherlands, or Denmark? And Shelly, I feel like you should have known better. It was number 4. It was number 4 again. Denmark. You should have stuck with this tried and true strategy. Denmark's allowed gay marriage since 1989. All right. This one should be easy. Celebrities who did not fear to come out of the closet. So, openly gay celebrities. 1. Which very famous CNN reporter came out in 2012? Which famous CNN reporter came out? As I was told, it's Netherlands. Netherlands in 2001. So Denmark's had gay marriage since 1989. Netherlands since 2001. Yeah. Christian Amanpour, Anderson Cooper, Philip Cousteau Jr., or Patricia Janiot. Also, I'll mention again, this is another very old quiz. Again, says last updated in 2021, but I suspect the quiz itself is a few years older than that. So, which CNN reporter came out in 2012? Christian Amanpour, Anderson Cooper, Philip Cousteau Jr., or Patricia Janiot? And yep, obviously Anderson Cooper. So yeah, again, old quiz. The question, the question is actually incorrect now. Like the question itself is now actually incorrect. This Canadian beauty is well known for her interesting and quirky roles. She came out in 2014. Also, it's Alanis Morissette, Ellen Page, Celine Dion, or Avril Lavigne. Elliot Page now. So Alanis Morissette, Elliot Page, Celine Dion, or Avril Lavigne. This was before Elliot came out as Elliot, of course. So yeah. Avril? As far as I know, Avril Lavigne has not come out as he, the gay he strand. Kinda. I mean, he's queer. He's queer regardless. He falls under the queer umbrella. You've now, Uncle, you've now got me randomly curious if Avril is. Eh. Well, if she is, she's never said anything about it. So yeah, Elliot Page, of course. This very famous celebrity came out in 2006. He played many famous roles, but the most notorious one was in How I Met Your Mother. Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Segel, Josh Radnor, or Kobe Smulders, who's not a dude. Neil Patrick Harris, Jason Segel, Josh Radnor, or Kobe Smulders. And yeah, Neil Patrick Harris, of course. Doogie Howser, MD. This woman was the first openly gay celeb to open the Oscar ceremony in 2007. A pioneer in coming out, who is she? Glenn Close, Ellen DeGeneres, Cameron Diaz, or Susan Sarandon? Glenn Close, Ellen DeGeneres, Cameron Diaz, or Susan Sarandon? Answer is Ellen DeGeneres. I used to watch her sitcom. So like I actually remember when she came out. Like I watched her show. I was already watching her show when that episode came out or was released. Number 5. Which gentleman, one of the greatest British actors of all time, came out in 1988 to the general public in a program on BBC Radio 3? Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, Sir Ian McKellen, Kenneth Branagh. Timothy Dalton, Sean Connery, Sir Ian McKellen, Kenneth Branagh. Yep. Sir Ian McKellen. Hey, Linda. Magneto. Yep. Gandalf, yep. Gandalf the Gay. Number 6. Someone I've never heard of, actually. This sexy star is best known for his lead role as Kyle in the now canceled ABC series Kyle XY. I have never in my life heard of Kyle XY. Literally never heard of that show. Matt Dallas, Jean-Luc Bilodeau, Bruce Thomas, Nicholas Lee, whatever. Matt Dallas, Jean-Luc Bilodeau, Bruce Thomas, Nicholas Lee. Yeah. When in doubt, 4. With I will say, actually, most of the time, when in doubt, C. Like if you've got like a 4, like if you've got a multiple quick choice of like four choices, when in doubt, C. Though you'd be wrong in this case. You're also wrong going with number 4. It actually is Matt Dallas, who, again, I have never in my life heard of. Number 7. This Silence of the Lambs star, who long stayed mum about her oft-speculated sexual preferences, went public with her sexuality in 2007. Silence of the Lambs star went public in 2007. Emma Thompson, Gina Davis, Jodie Foster, or Julia Roberts. Emma Thompson, Gina Davis, Jodie Foster, Julia Roberts. You missed it. Silence of the Lambs star went public with her sexuality in 2007. Emma Thompson, Gina Davis, Jodie Foster, or Julia Roberts. And yeah, Jodie Foster, obviously. Music has had a fair share of openly gay celebrities. Which musician in this list is not gay? Which of these musicians is not gay? Robbie Williams, Michael Stipe, Neil Tennant, George Michael. Robbie Williams, Michael Stipe, Neil Tennant, or George Michael. Who is not gay? Also, Tylenol. Never heard of 2 or 3. Michael Stipe is REM. Neil Tennant is Pet Shop Boys. And yeah, the answer is Robbie Williams. Robbie Williams is apparently straight. Numero 9. This popular Hollywood actor, at the peak of his fame in the 1960s, came out in 2003 in his autobiography, Shattered Love. Peak of his fame in the 1960s, came out in 2003 in his autobiography, Shattered Love. Richard Chamberlain, Lee Majors, Steve McQueen, or Robert Vaughn? For now. Richard Chamberlain, Lee Majors, Steve McQueen, or Robert Vaughn? Lee, Richard, Robert, not Lee. It is, in fact, Richard Chamberlain. Robert Vaughn. No, it was, in fact, Richard Chamberlain. Number 10. This actress, who played in Sex and the City, came out in 2004. Which of the Sex and the City girls came out in 2004? Cynthia Nixon, Kim Cattrall, Sarah Jessica Parker, or Kristen Davis? Cynthia Nixon, Kim Cattrall, Sarah Jessica Parker, or Kristen Davis? Sorry, Buttercup, I already got to it. I already reminded her. Miles Davis. But hello, Buttercup. We're doing gay trivia. The answer to this one was Cynthia Nixon, yes. Cynthia Nixon. So number 11. I don't actually know. I just looked, so now I know. All of these are gay mayors. But who was the first to be elected in office and which city? Who was the first of these, out of these 4 gay mayors, who was the first elected in office? Corinne Mauch of Zurich, Bertrand Delanoë of Paris, Glenn Murray of Winnipeg, or Annise Parker of Houston? By the way, I apologize for my pronunciations. I don't speak German or French, so. Corinne Melch of Zurich, Bertrand Delanoë of Paris, Glenn Murray of Winnipeg, or Anise Parker of Houston. Oh, wait. Zurich is Switzerland, not German. Hi, crazy. Well, I don't speak Swiss either, so. And the answer actually is Glenn Murray of Winnipeg. It actually is Glenn Murray, mayor of Winnipeg from 1998 to 2004. First openly gay mayor of any major city in the world. I mean, depending on whether Winnipeg counts as major, but first openly gay mayor of any city in the world, like 1998 to 2004. Bertrand Delanoë, mayor of Paris from 2001 to 2014. Anise Parker, mayor of Houston from 2004 to 2010. Corinne Melch, elected in 2009. Hey, Linner. So, yay, Canada. Number 12. Which ultra famous Latino called Enrique Martin Morales came out at last in 2010? Gee, I wonder. I wonder who that could possibly be. Enrique Martin Morales. Who could that possibly be? Though I suppose depending on your age, you might be like, I don't know. Iglesias. All right, I'll read it one more time. Which ultra famous Latino called Enrique Martin Morales came out at last in 2010? Antonio Banderas, Ricky Martin, Diego Valderrama, or Gael Garcia Bernal? I'd advise against overthinking this one. Do not overthink it. And yeah, Ricky Martin. Number 13, Greg Louganis and Martina Navratilova were some of the hundreds of famous Braves who came out in the sports arena. Which sports were they famous for? Greg Louganis and Martina Navratilova. Which sports were they famous for? Swimming and tennis, diving and tennis, running and horse riding, athletics and badminton. Swimming and tennis, diving and tennis, running and horse riding, athletics and badminton. Navratilova, now, of course, more famous, probably most famous for being a hyper turf conservative douchebag. Anyway, yeah, diving and tennis. Greg Louganis was a diver. Martina Navratilova was a tennis player before she switched to turfery. Number 14. All of these openly gay people were or are governing their countries. But which of them was the first ever who was elected to govern a country? And which country? Xavier Bettel, Luxembourg. Johanna Sigurðardóttir of Iceland. Sigurðardóttir? Not sure if it's Sigurðardóttir or I don't know how that. I have no idea how that goddamn symbol is pronounced. Elio de Rupo of Belgium or Per Christian Foss of Norway. Which of those was the first elected to govern a country? Xavier Bettel of Luxembourg, Johanna Sigurðardóttir of Iceland, Elio de Rupo of Belgium, or Per Christian Foss of Norway. I'm the answer 4 because I don't know. So nobody got it. It was actually Johanna Sigurðardóttir. Elected in 2009. Johanna Sigurðardóttir of Iceland, elected in 2009. First openly gay person elected to be head of government. Note, elected head of government. Per Christian Foss, Norway's finance minister, was acting prime minister of Norway in 2002 briefly, but which was the first openly homosexual head of government in modern times. but was not elected. Elio Di Rupo, technically not head of state since Belgium is a monarchy, but he was first openly gay male prime minister in 2011. And Xavier Bettel, same situation. Belgium is a grand duchy, or is a monarchy, but he was elected prime minister in 2013. And final one for this category, for this quiz. He played roles in White Collar and Traveler, among others. Who is this handsome man, born in Missouri, who came out in 2012? White Collar and Traveler, born in Missouri, came out in 2012. Matt Bomer, Willie Garson, Tim DeKey, or Sharif Atkins? Matt Bomer, Willie Garson, Tim DeKey, or Sharif Atkins? Matt Boner? It's Bomer with an M, like Mike. And actually, the answer is Matt Bomer. Matt Bomer. I was hoping to find one that was like gay characters. When you take the gay trophy. Come on. Nah, the ones that are there even that many gay characters? Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean there's tons. But I can't find a good I can't find a quiz that's like, about queer characters. Yeah, I mean there's tons of gay characters out there. I mean shit, you could do like we're at a point where you could do a quiz about like gay characters in kids cartoons. Like there's enough gay characters just in kids cartoons that you could do a quiz on just that. All right, so since I can't find a category I was hoping to find, who's got a category? Who wants to suggest the category? Actually, you know what? Just because I am who I am, here's a quick question for gay characters. Who was Marvel's first openly gay character? Curious if anyone's going to know that. No one will, because my audience doesn't care about comic books, but buffering around. Because I came late. That's what she said. Am I buffering for anyone else? Or is it only Buck? And nobody's even got a guess on Marvel's first openly queer character? Wolverine. Sadly, only an alternate reality version of him has been confirmed. There was an alternate reality version of Wolverine who was Governor General of Canada and in a relationship with Hercules, the Greek god. Anyway, the answer is North Star. North Star was Marvel's first openly queer character, openly gay character. There were others who were very, 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 very strongly hinted before that, but he was the first to actually come out. North Star of Alpha Flight. He's Canadian. French Canadian, but still Canadian. Says Wolverine. That's why I said it. I wasn't here for the choices. I didn't give any choices. I was just curious if anyone would know. Anyway, anyone have a category? We need a category. We still need to find one more category. Maybe everyone was buffering too. So, any suggestions? Any suggestions, or am I just picking a random one? Go random, I guess. Location, location, location. A literature quiz. Where did these novels happen? ChatGPT. I will ask ChatGPT to go fuck itself. It's the only thing I'll ask ChatGPT. You're illiterate. I mean, some of them did also have. Some of them do have movie adaptations, I'll bet. In which European city did The Diary of a Young Girl take place? Hey, Shelley. In which European city did The Diary of a Young Girl take place? Brussels, Dublin, Copenhagen, or Amsterdam? Brussels, Dublin, Copenhagen, or Amsterdam? It is Amsterdam. And actually, on a random note, appropriately, it's kind of appropriate for Pride. Uh, there's indications that she was attracted to women. So yeah, there actually are a couple lines. Could be about me. No. Yeah, there were a couple bits, couple passages that actually do suggest that Anne Frank had an attraction to girls. So still works for Pride Month. Anyway, yeah, Amsterdam. Number 2. In which colonial city did Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter occur? In which colonial city did Nathaniel Hawthorne's The Scarlet Letter occur? Boston, Annapolis, Pittsburgh, or Dover? Boston, Annapolis, Pittsburgh, or Dover? The answer is Boston. Harper Lee's novel To Kill a Mockingbird takes place in which of these Southern American towns? To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird. I mean, I would think, oh yeah, hola. This one, you like some of you are like, me and Shelly like didn't have to read this in school. But you Americans probably had to read this when you were in school. So you should remember this. Macomb, Alabama, Meridian, Mississippi, Miami, Florida, or Macon, Georgia. Where did To Kill a Mockingbird take place? Macomb, Alabama, Meridian, Mississippi, Miami, Florida, or Macon, Georgia? Like I said, me and Shelly, that book wasn't part of our school curriculum. Here in Canada, it was probably swapped out for fucking Farley Mowat or something like that. You know, whatever grade that that Americans read To Kill a Mockingbird, we probably read Farley Mowat. So the answer is actually Macomb, Alabama. I'm going to be vaguely annoyed at anyone who does not get this one. Which one of these novels takes place in the Canadian province of Prince Edward Island? Which of these takes place in the Canadian province of Prince Edward Island? Emma, Anne of Green Gables, Pride and Prejudice, Beau Geste. Beau Geste. Geste, probably. Beau Geste, probably. Is probably how it's pronounced. I don't actually know. I've never actually heard of that one myself. Emma, Anne of Green Gables, Pride and Prejudice, Beau Geste. Which of those is very famously Canadian? Like, exceptionally famously Canadian. I was gonna say mobile. Maybe the most famous Canadian book? Maybe the most famous Canadian novel. I wouldn't even say maybe, probably the most famous. Like, I would say, yeah, the most famous Canadian novel. Gonna read? Like Joey doesn't share food. But it's been adapted for other stuff. Like it's gone through tons of adaptations as well. Answer is Anne of Green Gables. By L.M. Montgomery. You didn't know it was Canadian? Emma, by the way, for the record, Emma is Jane Austen. Honestly, one of her more fun books, and like most of Jane Austen's books were very fun. Emma was a really fun one. Brony. Hey, Jazak. What do you mean now? The movie Clueless. If you've ever watched the movie Clueless, that one's an adaptation of Emma. Yeah, I've my Patreon has somewhat converted Uncle Buck to Gabriel. Although, like, funnily enough, very few of the very little pony stuff on there. A lot of Equestria Girls. I've posted a lot of the Equestria Girls on my Patreon. But for actual ponies, the movie, Best Gift Ever, and Rainbow Road Trip, which is like the most disappointing of the batch. such a mediocre song. Anyway, so yeah, Anne of Green Gables. I don't think you can even argue that it's like that. I don't think there's any Canadian novel more famous. Equestroni. I think that Anne of Green Gables has gotta be, well, Handmaid's Tale. I suppose Handmaid's Tale is also hugely famous. Anyway, need to go to Greenland. It's over. I mean, it's not like I obsess over My Little Pony. Hey, Sam. Anyway, question five. The 1984 novel The Bush Soldiers by John Hooker takes place in which of the following countries? Love Handmaid's Tale. Yeah, so Handmaid's Tale is maybe more famous than Anne of Green Gables, but it's close. 1984 novel The Bush Soldiers by John Hooker takes place in which of the following countries? Australia, Guam, Mexico, or Vietnam? Australia, Guam, Mexico, or Vietnam? Is that a USA? Anyway, I'm disappointed in all of you for not knowing that Anne of Green Gables is Canadian. Super fucking Canadian! Japanese viewer would have gotten it. Bet you a Japanese viewer would have known it was Canadian because they fucking love Anne of Green Gables over in Japan. Didn't hear the last one? Okay, Shelley, I'll repeat it one more time. 1984 novel The Bush Soldiers by John Hooker takes place in which of the following countries? Australia, Guam, Mexico, or Vietnam? The answer is Australia. Number 6. The 1873 novel Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne starts out in which of the following cities? So, Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. Where does it start? Athens, Rome, London, or Paris? Athens, Rome, London, or Paris? It's London. Starts in London. Number 7. Which of these is the fictional hometown featured in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer? Which is the fictional hometown featured in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer? Paris, Texas, St. Petersburg, Missouri, Alexandria, Kentucky, or Rome, Georgia? Belong. Must confess, I'm actually still kind of on the fence about getting back into the Final Fantasy games. So, Paris, Texas, St. Petersburg, Missouri, Alexandria, Kentucky, or Rome, Georgia? I was actually able to guess it. Because I've never read any Tom Sawyer, but I have just enough vague knowledge of him to know that he's from, like, to have, like looking at the options, like, that's right, he's a Missouri boy. Tom Sawyer's from Missouri. So yeah, it's St. Petersburg, Missouri. Because the river. Mississippi River, yeah. The 1969 Henri Charrière novel, Papillon, describes his escape from which of the following locations? The 1969 Henri Charrière novel, Papillon, describes his escape from which of the following locations? Devil's Island, a Russian gulag, Alcatraz prison, Sobibor death camp. Devil's Island, a Russian gulag, Alcatraz prison, Sobibor death camp. Death. Death. Not death. Oh, right, yeah. It's Patreon watch along. If Advent kids are spirits within, please. Yeah, I probably should. Anyway, the answer is Devil's Island, a French penal colony off the coast of French Guiana. We got a true or false one, so you got a 50-50 chance here. You got 50-50. The 1966 novel Valley of the Dolls is completely set in Hollywood, California. The 1966 novel Valley of the Dolls is completely set in Hollywood, California. True or false? True, true. Four. Answer is false. Actually starts in New York City. Jesse's four. And final question of the night. Final question of the night. Pulitzer Prize winning novel The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck takes place in China. True or false? So true or false? The Pulitzer Prize winning novel The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck takes place in China. True, false. It's true. It does take place in China. You know the Buck family? Oh, nice. Okay, are you being serious, or are you just joking because of your name? Or do you actually know them? Uncle Buxton? I don't know. It could have still been true. Well, you might have still been you might have still been telling the truth about that. Said your cousin. I did see that you said your cousin. But I mean, doesn't mean you couldn't still know the family. Anyway. Shame I couldn't find trivia quiz about gay characters, but who are some of your favorite gay characters? Queer characters. Who are some of your favorite queer characters from anything? Do you want to take that medicine? Go ahead. Go ahead, Uncle Buck. We are curious what's happening with her. We've only got a couple minutes left, so tomorrow. All right. We've only got a few minutes left tonight anyway, so. It's just, that's like, you know, everyone's favorite queer characters. They're trying a blank. Really? You don't watch a lot of. You don't. You know. You don't watch a lot of shows. Don't read a lot of books. Gentleman Jack. Who's Gentleman Jack? The little dude in Will and Grace. Jack. Actually, I think his name is Jack. Actually, funnily enough. She's based on real life. I mean, that's fine too. Ann Lister. That's here. Ann Lister, was she the one who like dueled Ben? Nope. Go to Diaries. All right, not who I thought she was. Julie Daubigny. That's Daubigny. That's who I was thinking of. It's wild to me that like there's actually a lot of stage shows in real life and the series Kicked Butt. Like there's actually a lot of stage shows about Julie Daubigny or Mademoiselle Maupin. Actually, hold on. Yeah, she was an opera singer. Very, very bisexual. Skilled with the sword. Regularly won duels. Won several duels with a sword against men. On one occasion, she kissed a woman at a ball and then won 3 duels against noblemen in the same evening. Like, honestly, kind of badass. And there's no English language movies about her. Leslie Jordan. Like no English language movies about it? Come on. Old school derogatory term for lesbian. You're in a song by the same name, I think, like to check your badass up. Yeah, I think it's disappointing that I suppose because French opera singer. How many people in the U.S. are really going to care about a French opera singer? You know, but duels are cool. People like duels. Anyway, stuffy New Yorkers. Side note: congratulations to New York. I wonder if New York's like I wonder if the come down has started for New York yet. Because, man, they got excited last night. Cian pointed out the one game the Knicks lost. They lost one game in the series. The one game that the New York Knicks lost. It's the one that Donald Trump attended. Their only loss to the Spurs was with Donald fucking Trump in attendance. Everything he touches turns to shit. He is a bad luck charm. Anyway. I'm gonna get going for now. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, everybody.